up, guys? It's Hugh here, back to another video, and sorry if the wind's kind of going bad. It's like my only chance I had to video. It keeps switching directions. Sorry, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. In this video, as you can see, we're gonna be talking about how to specifically get the biggest bass in an area, right? Largemouth, really. I don't really fish anything else in my area. There's not much else over here, but how to get the biggest one in the area. And this wind is so bad. Oh my gosh. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Oh yeah, as you can see, I got my braces off. Anyway, I think there's not too much to it, but you have to, like, let's say the lake or pond or wherever you're at is really pressured. What you're gonna want to do is fish like, or not pressured, but it's a place that's fished. If it's a place that's not fished, honestly, just either throw bigger baits or treat it like it's a normal place. Like, throw a little bit more realistic baits, because the older they are, they're going to be smarter. And that leads me to my biggest point of this whole video is, if the fish are in a place where they've been caught, it's likely that that fish has been caught before. You're basically just you're gonna want to fish with your most realistic baits that fit that water style. And I've said it in a couple videos now, you need to set bait traps. You don't need to, but if it's at some local pond or a place you can get away with setting a bait trap just fine, set one, see what the fish are eating there. And this will help so much, because what it's going to do is you're going to be able to see what type of bait fish are in the area. Even if it's not what the fish are eating, they're more likely to eat something that looks like something in the pond than something that doesn't, unless it's like some reaction by it. But for the most part, if you're trying to catch a big bass in an area, you want to be more realistic, because odds are, if people fish there, that fish has been caught. Because it's like a 5-pound bass is like 7-year-olds, I think, 7 years old. That's a while, man. That's a lot of days that it could have been fished. I might be wrong. I'll put up like the real thing for like a 5-pounder, and it's right here. So yeah, it really just, I don't know. The odds are a fish has been caught, and especially if it's that big, you know, it's been caught before if people fish the area. And if it hasn't, then it's still the same odds of you catching it as anyone else who fished there. So fish realistic. That's my biggest thing. You need to fish realistic. And even if you don't fish realistic, my next tip is fish different. All right, so say people are fishing there, and you don't really have anything that matches the hatch, you're gonna want to throw something different, like something the fish haven't seen. For me, what that thing is a icicle by Bass Reaper Bait Co. or Bass Reaper. They make baits, so I just call them Bass Reaper Bait Co. They have an icicle and a reaper or something like that. It's a little worm. It's like a paddle tail, but it's shaped like literally it's called a scythe. It's the worm shaped like a scythe, but it's got a little paddle tail on that scythe. It works amazing. I catch more fish on that than I do any finesse bait I have. It works really good on a shaky head or a weighted worm weight or a swim bait weight, like a swim bait hook, weighted swim bait hook. It really gets the job done. So those are some really good different presentations to throw, or anything you don't imagine those fish seeing before if people fish the area. Like, hold on, let me get it to focus. Let's see. I think another one would probably be, man, okay, I'm naming a lot of their stuff here. I like the authenticity in most of their lures. It's not stuff that you see everywhere. Even their flukes are a different style, like everything. It's really cool. So that's the main reason I use them so much, is because they're just, a lot of their baits are very unique, and that's my whole thing, is trying to do what everyone else isn't doing to get the fish that won't bite the other stuff, which includes Ned rigs. Finicky fish will eat those. If they've seen a billion other baits, they'll eat a Ned rig any day. And another bait by them, though, as I was saying, is a changeling. It's kind of like a brush hog, but instead of the little flappers, it's got 2 little paddles on the end and 4 on the whole thing. 1, 2, and then 6. So it has 6, but 1, 2 on each side. There's one right here, one right here. It looks like a brush hog, but there's 2 legs at the end with little paddle tails. And the paddles don't do much, but they're not flopping around in the water or anything. But what they do is they just kind of sit there and like bait's a floating bait. It sinks super, super slow. So it's amazing on a Carolina rig or a Texas rig. It sinks really slow. The fish have never seen that before. It's just got a bunch of little paddles hanging off of it. It looks sick. It looks like I have a mullet. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It's sick. Highly recommend that bait. There's a train. I'm sure you can hear that easily. So yeah, I would say those are my biggest tips. This is a kind of a quick video. Sorry about that. And sorry about the wind and the train just going crazy. I don't know. It's only like that when I'm out here, right? But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a pretty quick one, but those two things can extremely change your fishing techniques, because there's ponds I fish where people have fished before, and I'll be throwing something totally different, and I'll just catch more fish, right? Or the bigger fish, especially. And that's mainly what the whole all those tactics are for, is just one big fish. And that's how you'll catch the biggest fish in the area, is, like I said, fishing realistic and changing it up. Fishing something the fish have never seen before, but if you can, fish realistic and finesse fishing. I honestly, skitter walks, you catch so many big fish on those no matter where you're at. And honestly, they aren't thrown as much as you would think. Like skitter walks, it's a big brand, Rapala or Rapala, whatever you call it. It's a big brand. Their baits aren't thrown near as much as you'd expect. So everything I just named, check them out. I'll link down below everything I named in the video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what else I missed or anything that you want to say or talk about. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.